when did you first started cheer?
I started cheer in 2019.
I started cheer when I was 13, 2009. Yeah.
2005, 2006, around there.
I started cheer in 2018.
I joined cheer in 2019.
I started cheering in 2016.
I started cheer in 2022.
I actually started cheer maybe around 2019.
I started cheer in 2022.
So I joined cheer, I think about on 2020.
I started cheerleading in 2017.
So I started cheer in 2016. I started cheer since 2013.
I injured my thumbs in 2023 when I'm doing hand.
I sprained both my ankles while doing a round of back tuck when I was back in KL. And that was very difficult because I had to sit and watch everyone else progress while I was stuck with 2 swollen ankles. And this was mid-competition.
Of course, there's ups and downs. And I think cheer is a good sport. It has taught me a lot of things. You know, like cheer is physically hard, but I think it's mentally even harder, especially for me because I tend to get pressured a lot. So yeah.
Difficulties for me are doing stunts as a team and also doing stunts for myself. Every stunt takes time, and just because you hit it once doesn't mean you have done the stunt. You have to hit it consistently. So consistency is key, and also getting the technique correct and being safe.
Is cheerleading tough? Yes, definitely. It's a lot of hard work, it's a lot of sweat, sweat, blood and tears. And because I'm a bit of a slow learner when it comes to cheer, so yes, it's actually quite difficult for me to catch up at times.
Hello. What are your thoughts on having the title of strongest female bass in Malaysia?
I don't really think that is a title. I don't really think that's a title for me. A lot of people say that, and I do honor that as one of the few, or actually I think the only one left as a female bass in the current community that has been doing single bassing, which is one person at the bottom. And I don't really feel too stressed about it. I just honor it, and I just keep doing my best that I can. Yeah, so just keep improving myself, and yeah, just be as good as the boys or even better than them. Yeah.
So what did you feel when being featured in Cheer Acro Instagram?
Being featured on Cheer Acro, I was really, really excited. And I think it's one of the first time that my stunt videos got featured on such a huge platform. And shortly after, there was a huge following from all over the countries that are very impressed on what I was doing. So I was really proud of myself on how far I came since the very beginning that I started cheering, I think. Yeah.
How and why did you make yourself be on the
This,
same
like
level?
that.
Yeah.
Okay. How did I become this? How did I go this far from where I was? I started from all girls team, and we were doing group stunts and double bassing, which is there is one person and one extra person beside you. And then after I graduate from high school, I wanted to go into a co-ed team instead to try something different and to learn new things. One of the things that I struggled the most was single bassing, because that's the hardest thing, because there's no assist for your stunts. So And I had the opportunity and the privilege to stunt with small flyers that we had in our team last time, which was really, really small. I think like 35 and 38 until 40 kg. They were really small, so I could try to achieve partner stunts with them. But I really came a long way. Every time we do strength work, I would do extra because sometimes coaches will accidentally give me less strength work just because they feel I'm not capable enough, or maybe it's not safe enough for me. But for me, it was a challenge to do just as much as the male bases, and to improve, to be better than them, I will need to do even more than them. So that's why I think it's a personal goal. It's what I want to achieve, what I want to prove people wrong, because my size is not safe enough to be a flyer like consistently. I can fly for fun, but the most I can do is still basing. And being in a co-ed team, if I'm not strong enough to be single basing or strong enough with techniques, I may not be able to get in the team. So I just keep training and training to become better. And soon after, I was better than the boys too, just because I was chasing for it. Yeah.
When did you first started cheer? Like what year did you start?
I started cheer when I was 13, 2009. Yeah, when I was Form 1. That was really long ago. I think now it's about 13 years. Is it 13 years? 2009. Yeah, 13 going into 14 years. Yeah, really, really long.
Okay, one additional question. As a coach, like the main coach in Awesome, how do you feel about it? Like, how do you feel about the workload you have?
I feel actually very light coming into Awesome. It's one of the teams that I really love the most, genuinely from my heart. And every time I come here, I feel grateful to have a bunch of students and a bunch of kids that really love me and support me as well. And so thus, I feel I need to reciprocate the love and support I have from them. And I think I also started the team coming from my own heart. I really want the kids to succeed, and I also really want to see them grow and push themselves as passionate that I was. So that's where I'm coming from, and that's why I think the team is growing to what I really truly want in the team. Yeah.
Okay, I think that's all.
Yay, thank you.
Yes, coach. You know, okay. Yeah,
I ping her, let her stand. Okay, not just I saw Sony. You have to, all the stunts you do, have the intention of making the flyer's leg coming down towards yourself. Make your life easier. The leg come to you. Make her leg come to you. So make her leg come to you. Understand? Yeah? So you tilt her up, send. You want your leg come down, send to this direction, it will slide down. Okay, you simply send, don't know where the leg goes. Understand? Back also, send the leg downwards. Yeah. Pull up, send the leg downwards. Catch and send. extend, 29 years old. Okay. 29, act like 9. Yeah. Okay, guys, big and go. 1, 2, 3. Okay.
The advice that I would give for a new members that haven't tried cheer and willing to try is that try to join the team that with a great environment, because with a good environment, an athlete willing to learn and keep improving and be more passionate about the sport. Yeah, and also why I say that is because everyone can learn stuff, but then as long as you put the heart, all your dedication and time into it, I believe that everyone will pick up a new sport. Then also, in cheerleading team, it's not an individual sport, it's a last sport. And the team, I feel that we really need to help each another, help communicate, and also like be friends. And I feel it's more than a friend. Yeah, so when you feel more than a friend, then you feel more comfortable. And then that person technically will love the sport and also will improve more. Yeah. As a cheerleader, what is the most rewarding I feel is that for me, been cheering so long, the most rewarding I feel is not about going for competition, but it's about the bond that I have with my team. Yeah, even though as a member or as a captain, I just feel that being a team really to play a good teammate role, which is like open-minded, willing to help, and also like be there when someone really needed you. Yeah, this is what I feel the most rewarding as a cheerleader member. Okay.
So you're an assistant coach for the team CA Awesome. Was it stressful for you?
Stressful, yes, because now I've been assisting a senior team, which is a more elite skill in level 5. But I didn't take it too hard to myself, because I know if I've been too stressful to myself, it's hard for me to teach them. And when the coaches teach them with a stressful environment, I feel the member also will feel stressed. So what we acknowledge them is that everyone got the chance to try, keep going, and never give up. So I would say still manageable. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Welcome. I don't know what. Okay. See, break. Body strength up. Yeah. Over rotate, control a bit, please. Okay, then I am. Senior right bend leg. 7, 8, 1, 2, shift, feet, back. Nice, okay. Stop. Up.
Nice, Shane.
Nice, back. Down, jump. Jump.
Oh, nice. Not bad.
台湾神打，现在有没有台湾？台湾打。
How do you balance your work, social life, and cheerleading commitments? And what strategies do you use to manage your time effectively?
Balancing cheer life and work is quite difficult at times, especially because work, there are times where I need to overtime, I need to travel. It does get a bit difficult, and cheer does, we do train quite late at night. So it does get a bit difficult to manage the time at times, but I do my best to what I can to make sure that I am able to attend all my trainings and also complete the work that I need to do. So what I try to do is that if I know that that day, let's say like Tuesday, Thursday, Fridays are my practices, I know that I will do my work on Monday, Wednesday as much as I can, or like Tuesday, Thursdays, Fridays, I will finish the work earlier so that if there's any last minute work on that day or any such events that I need to OT or anything, then I would just quickly get it sorted out before training. And if I really need to do OT, then I would still come to training, and I would explain to the coaches that I would be late, but I will still come to the training for the hour or so that I can learn whatever they learn and also train together with the team.
How did you become who you are now?
So how did I get where I became today was through hard work and dedication. So I trained a lot of basics when I started. So like the first toss block skill that I did, I trained for 6 months continuously for every practice. Week in, week out, I did the same skill for 6 months. It does sound long and it does sound tiring, and trust me, it is with all the injuries. But everything that I put in it shows where I am today and how I have become who I am today. What I can do today is all because of how much I've trained since the beginning, how much effort I put in. Because I believe in the quote saying that if you put in the effort, the results will come. So don't chase, like they always say, don't chase the money. In this sense, I don't chase the skill. I just keep training what I need to train, the basics, the fundamentals, understand the skill, and that's where I can hit all the skills easily nowadays. It's because of hard work and dedication.
When did you start cheer? Like, what is the year did you start?
I started cheer in 2019, about second half of the year, which is about August, around there. So I joined, that time was a C3 competition. So that was my first time ever doing cheer. I joined the team and they were going to compete. It was 1 month before I joined the team, and they were like, next month we're having a competition, do you want to join? So I went in with the team, just went with it. We did quite bad, but it's alright because first competition. Then trained for that about 4 or 5 months, and then COVID hit in 2020. So stopped during the whole COVID duration. Up to today, I've been training after COVID and all. So total, I've been training about 2 years around there. Yeah, 2 years plus.
I heard that you have a concussion last year.
Yeah, okay, so one of the major injuries that I had last year was a concussion. So I got kicked in the head during a skill called basket toss. But this is a high risk sport, high injury sport. But so I totally understand, and I don't blame it on anybody. So yeah, the concussion was actually quite bad. It was the first time I ever faced it this bad before, so I was a bit shocked at that moment and went to the hospital. Everything, luckily everything was alright. And I think the hardest part of that time was coming back to the mat, because that time was during competition. So I had to really get myself back to 100% to train back and train back the routine with the team and hit the skills properly. I think it was really difficult that time because with the concussion and everything, I was supposed to take quite a long break, but I didn't, so I just pushed through, and we won gold after that lah.
How did your parents react to your injury?
I think my parents were quite understanding about it. They were a bit angry, because I got injured and everything. But I think they understand that what sports I'm doing is a high-risk sport, as I said. But they know that I won't get injured purposely. And they know that it's totally accidental. So they were really understanding and really supporting towards me to make sure that I was alright. They took care of me very well and everything. And luckily enough, my parents had free time, so they could make sure that I had lunch and everything. They didn't have to go to office, they could work from home. So they were very supportive towards me, and they made sure that I could recover fast as well, so that I could go back to training the next week. Done.
Hello, Mo. Hello. You think I have to bring down
What are some of the most challenging aspects of cheerleading, and how do you overcome them?
So why do I always come back to cheer is always been the people that inspire me to do better, and the coaches that always push me to what I thought I couldn't do. And in a way, it has shaped me to the person I am today, and I'm very grateful for that. And with many trials and tribulations, I have made very, very fond memories of how much I love my team and how much we accomplish as a team as well. They're not just friends, they're my family. So, yeah. I absolutely love that even though there's challenges, I think there's always ways to overcome it, and nothing is unachievable if we work together.
What the fuck?
I feel it's forward.
Okay, no?
So it's forward.
What are some of the most challenging aspects of cheerleading, and how do you overcome them?
To be honest, the most challenging aspect in cheerleading is that the risk of injury is actually really high. So if you're not careful enough, right, you might get serious injury like concussion or even broken bones. And personally, I had one bad experience. It was during a recruitment drive, and a lot of bases are new. So there's this time I was doing single basing with this base, and he didn't catch me, and I accidentally broke my foot. And because of that, I had to rest for around 3 months. And it's actually kind of sad because when you rest, right, your progress is stagnant. Like, you can't do anything much. You can only watch all your teammates, like, for them to improve, and then like your progress is just stuck lah, basically. So I feel like the most challenging part is that if you are really not careful, you get injury very easily. And to be honest, there's not really a solution to that, but what we can do is that we can only be our best and be more aware when we are stunting. So like there's lesser injury, I would say. Anything can happen in cheer.
Good!
What's your role in Awesome? I'm a flyer and a base. And so, how do you feel as the only male flyer in Awesome? So, it's an honor and grateful to be the only male flyer in the team because as male flyers, there isn't technically a lot of male flyers because male tends to be physically bigger and everything. So me being a smaller guy, I have to be like sort of honored to be in this role and position. So it is quite an opportunity that shouldn't be missed. So I would say I would say I'll be very honored. Thirdly, how did you find confidence being a male flyer? So when I first started flying, I was very scared and everything because naturally people are afraid of heights and eventually after sort of practice and you sort of trust the bases and everything, you put your trust in them to catch you and everything, so like you sort of become more and more confident with the flying and everything so you don't have to be scared and everything. So that's how I find my confidence. I just trust my bases and make sure they catch me whenever I fall. So that's my confidence in being a flyer lah, and everything. And I have to represent the male community lah, because I'm a guy and everything. So I have to represent the males. And lastly, the next question. Other than flying, yes, I mentioned I've also do some basing also lah. So when I first started, I was a base. Because, you know, naturally guys, we want to carry the girls and everything lah. So I opted more towards basing and everything. That's where I also got my basics and sort of my know-hows on how to base and everything. So I started off as a base. And it is sort of fun and everything, getting the best of both worlds. So yeah, I started as base also. And how do I manage being such a small base? It is it is sort of a hard thing being a small base and everything. You know, people tend to look down on you when you're a small base. But I try my best. I try to prove everyone wrong that, you know, that small guys also can do everything. We are just as good as the bigger guys. So I want to say I try to prove the guys wrong and everything that smaller guys can also do the basing.
Lên lại đào mỏ. Go. Yes, yes, yes.